So as a little bit of a disclaimer before I start this video, I had a show last night, and so that is why my eyes look like this. No, I did not suddenly turn into a zombie. I just wanted to make that clear before I started the video. It's Random Snips, vlogging every week for you. So for today's video, I thought I would do another episode of Life Stories with Caleb, because I really like sharing with you guys things that I did in my childhood. For today's video, I thought I would talk about how, as a kid, I used to have really bad OCD. I don't know when it started or why it started, or how it went away for that matter. From the time I was probably about 6 or 7 years old, I had really bad obsessive compulsive disorder. To the point where I would have to walk on floor tiles a certain amount of times, or open a door a certain amount of times, or I'd have to brush a certain tooth in my mouth a certain amount of times. It just got really bad for a while. And it got to the point where it would affect my everyday life as well. And the biggest thing that I remember being a big deal was in school. I remember when I was in 3rd grade, I used to have this thing about tapping my fingers, and I would tap my fingers on my desk. And I would have to tap each finger a certain amount of times. And if I would tap them unevenly or forget how many times I tapped a certain finger, it would drive me absolutely insane, to the point where I remember one day in class I was trying to even out the tap count in my head with my fingers, and I couldn't remember how many taps I had on each finger, and I just started screaming so loud. And my teacher had to send me to the nurse because she didn't want a screaming kid in her class. It was just really bad. And I remember I'd also, on a similar note, I'd have to blink my eyes a certain amount of times. I don't remember what the criteria was, but I remember like I'd have to blink my eyes for a certain amount of something. I don't know what it was. I'd have to blink my eyes a certain amount of times, and if I didn't do that, then it would drive me absolutely nuts. That was a big problem for me from the time that I was probably 5 or 6 up until I think around the time I started middle school is whenever it finally started to go away. I don't know what caused it to go away. I may have just grown out of it. It was a big thing whenever I was a kid. I know it freaked my mom out. Like, she didn't know what to do with an OCD kid. As far as today, I still relapse into it a little bit. Like, I have to have things in my room a certain sort of way, and I have to have my bed made the exact same way every day, and I have to take ice cubes from one side of the ice tray each time. But for the most part, as far as the screaming if I don't tap my fingers on a desk a certain amount of times thing, that doesn't happen anymore, so that's good. So yeah, has that ever happened to you guys where you had or still have, I don't know, really bad OCD? Or do you have any other kinds of dominating things in your life that kind of take over what you do? It definitely really puts a damper on your life. I had a really sad childhood. So that's gonna be all for this week. I did, on Friday, my university did our own version of course, the Harlem Shake video. I'll put a link to it in the end of the video and down in the down bar so you can check it out and do all the stuff that you do. But yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed doing it. Here's a picture of the outfit that I wore. So yeah, that's gonna be all for this week. I'm going to try and get the rest of this eye makeup off of my eyes so I don't look like a scary zombie. Until next week, stay awesome guys, bye! Hey. Hey you. Hi. I see you. You see me? Hello! Okay. Okay, bye. Bye-bye. Bye now.